Hello, it's fine. We're checking out Gigantopolis. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest, see what we can get for feedback here. I did get kind of spoiled a little bit by watching the video that was recently made about the game here, but I don't think it showed too much of the gameplay or anything, just kind of the general concepts. But we're going to give this a shot. I did notice that I guess the tutorial is kind of the itch page, which is sort of cute. I like how the whole page is laid out like a tutorial, but on the other hand, not really a replacement for having a tutorial in game. I'm not sure if there's any tutorial in the game here. I've not seen anything past the screen. This is how the game opens up here. So it looks like I can move the WASD. So I'm just going to assume that the game isn't going to include this information. So I'm just going to read over it real fast here. It looks like we have the number keys for equipping items. Looks like it goes all the way up to 8, which is kind of a lot. So, in my opinion, I don't particularly like the old school kind of weapon switching that they have from FPS games with the number keys. But you know, it's one of those things you live with. But like when you start going up past like 5, I would say it's such a reach that it's like even worse than usual. So, something to keep in mind. I definitely tend to prefer something different. But looks like space to interact. Continue pressing space in conversations to read the next line. F1 to die if you get stuck. Looks like you leave resources where you die. Alliances. Okay, I don't know what all this stuff means, but sure, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but yeah, it looks like we got the basic controls, WSD, and then spacebar. It doesn't. I think there's other things that you do, but it doesn't appear to mention other buttons that I can. Oh, level up J, K, and L. I don't know. There's other stuff, but it's all kind of scattered about. So yeah, let's go ahead and get in the game itself. I did want to check real quick if there's any gamepad support whatsoever. So I'm just gonna. Sorry, I'm gonna plug in that controller, make a bunch of noise here. All right, we've got gamepad. All right, looks like the thumbstick is reacting. Looks like we also got some analog input there, so we can walk slowly. But I don't know, is there like a jump button or anything? Yeah, I don't know what the other buttons are so far, so I don't know. I'm just using the keyboard for now. So yeah, definitely. I mean, it's called a Metroidvania, and it appears to be a side scroller, but it doesn't have the feeling of an action game so far, just by the nature of how kind of slow you move. Very plodding with that heavy footstep sound. Now, what the heck? So I'm kind of talking and. Oh, okay. Well, that's very loud. I don't know why this just appeared. So I guess you have to keep pressing the spacebar. Yeah, so that's a little weird. I mean, it helps to have like a little prompt on screen, you know, like flashing spacebar being pressed kind of thing, so that the player kind of gets the point that you're supposed to do that for this to progress. But it's a little weird when the screen just pops up and there's just nothing on there to start with, because it's like what am I looking at, you know? I wrote you. Good luck. Okay, so I think I did notice before that like that goob luck was like the same quote unquote typo was actually on in the game page on itch.io, so that must be like a intentional thing. Are there any secrets over here now? Okay. Yeah, very slow. I mean, it's kind of time consuming plotting through here. We've got some blocks we can push around, it looks like. Oh, it just disappeared. Oh, the physics are a little funny there, like falling down. one of those things you kind of... So far, I haven't been able to jump or anything where it's not... where it doesn't feel like an action game where you're so slow, and I don't think there's a jump button, at least not yet. It's sort of like you don't really expect to see little physics things like that because the game doesn't necessarily need physics like that if you're just walking left and right, but oh. Gosh, it's really quite loud though. I think I have to, is there a pause button? Escape? Oh no, escape doesn't pause. Escape doesn't pause, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's more gameplay. Let's turn this down. That was me. Okay. Oh, I just realized I had the volume up like super loud too. So yeah, the quality of this video is already degraded somewhat, but hopefully it sounds better now. I'll turn down my own volume. Alright. So I guess this is the guy you're supposed to save the city from or something. It's not really, without having like read the description or like pieces of it, it doesn't really come across necessarily. If that's supposed to be like presenting a story element or something, but yeah, it's a little weird to just pop up the screen and then like force you to immediately press another button before anything happens. You almost, I think it would make more sense to at least put the first message there before firing an input. Gigantopolis tearing up the city. All right, so that's presenting more of the story there, so it's not being made explicit at this point. As long as it doesn't come to Gigantropolis. So his name is Gigantopolis, and the city that they don't want him to destroy is Gigantropolis, I guess. Oh, or Gigantropolis with an R. So interesting. Splash the title screen here, in front of the guy punching the thing. It's sort of a interesting sort of aesthetic choice, I would say. Or like storytelling sort of feel to it. Doorman, this hotel is the pride of the... Oh, no. Okay. So I pressed the spacebar again before the message was done, before it completed showing on screen here, and it skipped to the next one. So my expectation was that it might speed up how quickly the typewriter effect kind of showed the text, right? But it just skipped it instead, so that's like the opposite of what you want. So proud to come to work. It's doors every day. Beautiful building. So yeah, I would definitely change that. Some games don't let you make the text go faster, and that's already like a little bit of an annoyance. But if like you're trying to make the text go faster and it just like gets rid of it and you don't get to see what it said, that's particularly frustrating. Lovely view of the fountain. Wonderful people to talk to every day. Couldn't be happier. Alright, so Mr. Doorman. So it did mention something about the numbers on the bottom, I guess, on the itch page, but didn't read all that because it was just like too much to look at, which is kind of what you should expect from anyone, anyways. It's not even that I necessarily don't have the patience to read through all that. It's more that like I didn't want to. Once I'm recording a video, I don't want to sit down and just like read through like all these pages while I'm recording. And that's kind of what I try to do when I'm recording these, is to try and incorporate a little bit of that, even even before I start playing the game, like some of the things that I experience about the game into the video itself. So if that makes sense, but obviously you can't expect people to like read anything on the game page instead of just playing the game. So okay. Yeah, so I feel like it seems like it would be a simple enough thing to put these text interactions, like not make it full screen so that you can still see the little visual scene here while the people are talking. Because I feel like, when I'm talking to this kid and then it's just like, okay, it just goes to this other screen, it kind of takes me out of that scene. But then he's talking about like, Dad lets me play in this park, and it's kind of like you can't see the park that he's talking about. So I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect that's being introduced there. So it seems like, you know, you have plenty of room on the screen, like maybe the top of the screen or something. You could probably shove text box up there. And the other thing is like, so the text is kind of time consuming to sit and read anyways, but I feel like it kind of throwing into this other full screen view also kind of almost makes that feeling of impatience worse, because it kind of pulls you out of the other, it feels like it kind of pulls you out of the game into whatever this is, right? This isn't my key. I'll hand it off to the officer. What is he talking about? Thanks for looking out, though. So I think I picked up a key at some point, and then I was kind of talking, so I didn't read everything properly. But I guess I showed him a key that he was looking for some kind of a key. Okay, received a pipe, which I guess is on the number keys. I don't know what is this X anyways. Is it just no? Why does his arm doesn't turn around with his body? How do you use stuff then? Is it gonna tell me at some point? Is there like other? I'm only using my left hand so far, so I'm like, I gotta try more buttons on the. Oh. Okay, well, I assume the game will tell me at some point. But yeah, so, you know, it's a common thing for people to feel a little bit of impatience when they have to like sit and read text conversations and stuff. But I feel like if the game didn't pull you out of this scene, like visually, then it would feel a little nicer, because it's a little hard to explain, I guess. But for whatever reason, it feels like you're still kind of playing the game properly, instead of like just being pulled into something else that's like just taking you out of what you want to do, which is kind of playing the game. I don't know if that made sense, but just more of a felt thing. Oh, it's still showing that screen. So is she? Oh, she's hammering on something. I'm like, is she shaking a bottle? But no, she's hammering. We've got a pipe now, which may or may not. I don't even know why these blocks are here. May or may not help for clearing. I guess this is what. So what's the deal? What is the button that we're supposed to use? Or does this not help with the rebel? I'm pressing every single key simultaneously. I'm not really sure at this point what's going on. So what I can do is I can go ahead and, well, there's no pause for whatever reason yet. But I'll go ahead and look at the game page again. If I can find something else. This is space to interact. Okay, the bottom of the screen, the numbers are the stats. Left top is ammo, didn't end up using. Middle top, current health. Right top, scrap currency. So this feels like a very sort of, I don't want to say debug, more like a program art sort of display of what should be a proper UI. You know, maybe that's the idea here, where it just I mean, I guess when I look at the top right of the screen here on the web page, it does mention that it was submitted to a jam. So you can understand that some of these little like very rough edges being left in might be, you know, just for the sake of getting it done quickly or something. I don't know how much, if any, development has been done since then. But from what I understand, developer still wants to kind of complete and like release the game eventually, so which is why I'm making this video. But yeah, you know, maybe stuff like this is just a sort of a side effect of it being a jam game. So it looks like the middle top is current health, right top is scrap, which is currency, left bottom is BUOF level. I don't know what boof means. Middle bottom is max health, right bottom is lick power level. Alright, don't really understand. Apparently the pipe is a weapon, but why can't I swing it? Showing all the different weapons and stuff. It's kind of like spoilering stuff. Yeah, I don't know what boof is. Oh, it says adds percentage chance to spawn boof on hit. Doesn't work at the moment. Okay, yep. Okay, it does not actually tell you what buttons to press. Oh. It does in fact say left click to use. Okay, I was not expecting to use the mouse. Not sure why you chose to use the mouse button of all things. Or maybe there's aiming with the mouse or something at some point. I don't know. Oh, it looks like there is. Okay. Yeah, so I had no idea this was a... Oh, look at that. Yeah, my mouse is moving my man on the screen here. Okay, so... Yeah, there you go. I didn't know that this was mouse controlled. Oh, looks like I got some... Oh, that's why my guy didn't... His arm doesn't turn around when you turn around, because it's my mouse position is controlling it. Looks like I got some... I think it's some money or something. Yeah, so this is not a game I expected to have, like, mouse... Is that doing something? Oh, it is. Okay. Be nice to have some feedback there that something was happening. Looks like we got a second key. I think I picked up a key earlier, right? And I don't believe that I can jump yet, so I don't know what that is depicting there. So I think we're going back to the mayor because he mentioned needing a key. Oh, whoop. Okay. Never mind. Hey, what the heck is this? Giant tree. But I can't do anything with that, right? Looks like these look like platforms you could jump on, probably. And is this a bad guy? It does indeed appear that way. Didn't quite look like he actually collided with my pixels. This is one of those things like in action games, if you don't even have the pixels touching, but it counts as a collision, that's usually a bad thing. You don't want to do that. And in fact, I would say that most of the time you're better off having the pixels like somewhat inside of each other before it counts as a collision when it comes to taking damage and stuff like that. This guy is a little bit skinny, so that's kind of a different thing to consider, I suppose. But saying what I noticed here, it was such a slow, you know, the speed of the interaction was so slow, it kind of didn't really matter. But press number for floor. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I guess 1 is where I am. I press space again and it doesn't let me. That's a minor annoyance, having to walk off and then walk back on to interact with this again. Oh, it's kind of instantaneous. Okay, so that kind of doesn't really feel good to like use an elevator and it just kind of teleports you. You know, it doesn't really have the elevator feel. The sort of continuity that you get with it. You also don't get the sense of direction from like where you are relative to where you were, because you don't get the sense of going like up or down or whatever. But I guess this is, I don't really... Three looks an awful lot like 2. but also like this just doesn't look like it actually is connected to anything, so a little weird. Like I expect an elevator is probably going to go up because I feel like I'm on the ground, so I kind of expect this to be like a building that extends upwards or something. I could understand, you know, maybe it goes down. But yeah, none of the visuals really kind of give any sort of depiction like where I'm ending up taking this elevator here. So, oh, are you gonna attack me? All right, I can't. Wait, I can actually swing at this guy, but I don't know that that's even a bad guy. I think it's probably must be a good guy, right? Because it appears to be a human. It's just like when you once you've encountered an enemy, and then like the next living thing you see is just like a dude pointing a gun vaguely at you. It's kind of a threatening presence, you know. So, I guess we're on 2 now. I don't know where 2 is. Um, okay. So I've just killed a white blob creature, and this also appears to be a white blob creature, albeit a little bit larger. Blacksmith. Aha. Okay, upgrades. And do we like point and click? There's no reaction to like mousing over anything. There's no feedback. 5 upgrades, damage increase, speed increase. It also, okay, it's really important to show your current the amount of money you have currently on shop screens like this, so you can make decisions like this, and you can like understand if you have enough to return to exit. Return as in on the keyboard? Okay, okay. So not everyone has a return key on their keyboard. um, so it's an important thing to understand. But I don't know, do you just click on this? It's a little silly to have like you click on these, but then like you have to reach for the keyboard, especially when it's like forcing me to take my hand off of the mouse, which is one of the primary input devices here, and to like reach for the keyboard and that particular key. Like, you know, there's so many different options that you could have used for this, such as just clicking somewhere, which is probably what you should do if this is a mouse interface, but also, you know, just one of the keys that you're also naturally in reach of or whatever. Even the escape key. Usually anytime you have some kind of a menu on screen, you should tie it to the escape key for like escape would be back out of it. But no, apparently enter key. Yeah, it's a little weird that I kill like this weird white creature that I don't even know what it is, and then like the next thing I encounter is like this white creature, and I don't know what that is either, but he's apparently a good guy. Looks like I can press spacebar on this train. Oh, I'm just on the train now. I don't know where I'm going. Oof, and I especially don't know where I ended up. So can you just not walk this way? Okay, so that's dead end. I didn't realize that originally. I have to wonder what the purpose is. Maybe it's sort of a thematic thing or something. I don't know where, like how far this train just took me, but it's kind of weird when you're just walking left. And instead of just like walking left to the next screen, you have to like ride a train to the next screen to the left. Makes you understand what I'm saying here. It's a little bit kind of strange, but I guess there's a suggestion that some kind of a distance was crossed. Again, I have no idea what kind of distance that would be. So, oh, okay. So again, we're kind of teleporting and not really getting the sense of motion. A little disorienting. Well, okay, level up screen is full screen. That's quite jarring, in my opinion. I don't particularly care for that. It really takes me out of what I was doing. But I guess, I think he said this just wasn't implemented yet, and then Lips was, I have to look at the screen again, I'm sorry, the game page again, which is what I'm doing. So Lips is the mental damage you inflict by licking your lips. Wow, okay. All right, so yeah, one of the 3 upgrades doesn't actually do anything. So we're going to choose either health or lips. It's a little weird. Usually health is kind of the most boring upgrade in any game because it's kind of like just compensating for playing badly, you know? Um, but I think I'm just going to do health for now because it literally triples my health. is pretty significant. I think it's just it just gives you 10 each time, so it's going to be diminishing returns, but the first time you do it, it's going to be pretty significant, mathematically speaking. Okay, we got a little triangle up here. Is this a thing? Oh, it's a rat. It's just there's so few pixels, it doesn't really read as something, but doesn't appear to be like significant to the gameplay. So that seems okay. Again, it's just a little weird when the screen pops up and there's just nothing on the screen. Also, the fact that it's a mouse input, but I have to use the spacebar instead of like just clicking on the screen to progress the text. To me, that would feel a little bit more natural, I think. On the other hand, I'm not even sure if you really need this to be a mouse-controlled game. From what I've seen so far, it kind of seems like it could just be, you know, any typical sort of gamepad or 8-direction input sort of controls. All right. So this is like pistol upgrades, damage speed, and double. Can we like get 2 pistols or something? But I don't actually have a pistol, so it's a little weird to encounter like upgrades for something that you don't even have. So it doesn't appear that I can fall. Okay, now I have to start thinking a little bit about like navigating the game world. I'm not sure that's necessarily complex yet, but I also don't think we have like a map in the game. Satanic Temple. Damien's house. Okay. Somewhat less intimidating. What the heck? Is that like entering the house? Wait, why does it look like that? I guess this is sort of like the wall falls away and you're inside, but then you just kind of like you walk out like this. It doesn't like the illusion's kind of broken. It's just like, whoa, okay, I think that was a bug from your... Yeah, something with the screen order here. Whoa. How am I out of... Is that the same train I rode before? Okay, I had to go down. And there's Damien's house. And then suddenly I'm here. Right, so that absolutely appears to be a bug. Yeah, okay, so I think it might be only when that you open up and go inside the house, then when you try to walk this way, it like teleports you to a different place. Is this like a thing I can read? Oh, met a girl today, her name was Singularia. I can't stop thinking about her. 1 out of 8. Okay, does that mean like there's 8 of these in the world or something? Oh, it disappeared, huh. But like, there's no menu or anything, so there's no way to like go and read. Like if you kind of collect things like this, you kind of want to be able to go back and read them in some fashion. So, you know, maybe you add a menu at some point and then you can do that. So what is this exactly? Okay, there's a little thing floating around with me now, I guess. Wait a minute. He kind of resembles that thing in the background here. I don't even know if that's... I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to, I mean, clearly you see the resemblance, right? I don't know if that's supposed to be a decoration or an interactive thing or not, but, what the heck are you? Wait, whoa. It's... Okay, floating guy is trying to shoot at these things up there, I guess. They seem to be resting. Who is they? Oh, this person, you mean? Okay. Alright, they seem a little energetic for resting, but... Oh, okay. I would not put an enemy right here, like when you're in collision with them before you even see what's on the screen. Oh my gosh. Okay, so thankfully I have kind of a lot of... Thankfully I upgraded my health. What are you shooting at? Did you just shoot the corpse? Is this guy Damien? Seems a little aggressive. Wait, why did this skip to satanic priests? The chosen one has arrived. He's here. We did it. We are going to live to see our Lord return to our mortal plane. Why am I here? Okay, was this another bug? Or am I supposed to have teleported because of the priests or something? There's another rat. Okay. Yeah, this is all pretty jarring. I don't know if that was intended. The whole, like, you read a sign and then suddenly you're in this place. Whoa! Excuse me. What just happened? So I saw Damien shoot this flying thing, and then why did I fly backwards? Like, what was that? I could not... How do I get... Okay, did Damien shoot something and that let me level up? Because I thought I just hit the edge of the screen. And he shot at something that was, like, off screen. So I couldn't even see anything that happened, but that's the only thing I can imagine that would make sense. Because I don't think you level up just, like, walking across the screen boundary, so that was very weird. But again, like, this whole, like, halt the whole game and show this, like, instantly show this full screen level up message thing is something I would avoid. It's a lot better to have, like, something pop up on screen that just says you leveled up, but it doesn't actually pause the gameplay, and then, like, maybe press a button to go to the level up menu or something like that, you know? And then you can choose your upgrade when you're good and ready to do so. I guess we're going for lips this time. But yeah, I think he killed something. Don't shoot the corpse. It doesn't need to die anymore. Whoa. How am I? Okay, this is disorienting. So, okay, so this room was right next to where I was. But for some reason, it went from sign to ropes optional. I don't know, that was weird. And I don't know what this room is either. It does mention the rat was, like, talking about the unfinished side quest, so I don't know if this whole room exists only for the side quest, and that means that I don't have any reason to be here anymore. That means I have to find somewhere else to go. Wait, what exactly is this? It's like he's sleeping, and then I step on this little pressure button, and this is like water falling on him or something. But, like, he's not... Oh, it's a capybara. But the capybara is just always resting unless you have something resting on this or something? And then you could talk to it? Is that how that works? It's weird. Alright, we got another, like, vertical travel thing here. So at this point, the map of the world is getting a little bit complex, which makes you really want for an in-game map of some sort to keep oriented. So can I just... Okay, I can actually fall down here. Interesting. It's the first time I've ever, like, fallen down in the game. Asked her out. She said yes. Okay, I gotta reach for the quote-unquote return key again. Oh, why does he shoot the boxes? What's up with that? I mean, I guess they give you money, right? But he, like, the physics of it, he just launched them off the screen. And he also did it, like, the instant I walked onto the screen. So a couple things to think about First of all, some of the physics feel a little janky in terms of launching things around. Can lead to a little bit of problems here and there. So far, it's been kind of minor, but I would be pretty careful about that. The other thing is that like you don't want stuff to happen the instant that screen transitions happen. So like when I walk across the screen and Damien is just instantaneously shooting at something, like things like that you want to avoid. So what you should do is have like a little bit of a buffer time. Like okay, screen transition happens in like the first second or something. After that happens, stuff like this doesn't happen. Like Damien doesn't shoot at anything yet, or any enemies that are here don't react yet. You know, you have to have these little reaction times built in, because for one thing, things in the real world don't react instantaneously, like things that have thought, you know, enemies and helper buddies and stuff like that. And the other thing is that the player just needs time to orient themselves when the screen transition happens. So like, you know, this new view just appears on the screen and the player needs time for their brain to process what they're seeing before they can like meaningfully interact with it. So like if some of this gameplay stuff just starts instantaneously happening, then it feels very out of control. Now this is a grapple. I can grab onto objects with this. Squoink. Alright, so, oh my gosh, it just jumped all the way over to what button even is this? I have to like spam buttons to figure out what button that is to press. So, yeah, you're definitely going to want to have some kind of... Alright, that's what I thought, it's these rings. Well, grappling is always fun in like every game, so that feels fun. Oh no, she didn't reply. Okay, so I can only shoot the grapple at these rings. I can't just like shoot it wherever I want, which is a little bit disappointing. Just one of those things that feels nice, you know, be able to shoot it around even if it doesn't interact with anything meaningfully. This makes it feel just a little bit more canned. But yeah, you're definitely going to want some kind of on-screen indications of controls and such, and like, I know you have such a limited pixel budget here, but usually things like this, it's a good idea to like put, if you're going to use the number keys on the keyboard, like put the number visually as like a label on these or something, so you can like look up and say, okay, well this is 6, so I just have to press the 6 key to use that one. So otherwise there's not really any realistic way to know that. So I think this is the ladder I skipped before. I walked over here and jumped down. Oh, looks like I can go over here. Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. Title, Ruland. So this is like a different thing from the other notes. But I only get the title, I guess. A service. Is this? It looks like a crib or a bed frame. Oh, okay. So I hit the screen transition and go into this screen, which is kind of weird. Trap. Think fast. Die. What am I thinking fast about? Wait, there's friggin' cards and stuff. What in the actual heck is this? Excuse me? Okay, and then he just beats the snot out of me. So like there's cards that show up on the screen and I'm supposed to like do something with one of them, I guess? Like one of the three is not like the other, but I don't know how to meaningfully... Do I press the space bar? How do I interact with this? Then he just thrashes me. I don't know. I don't see anything that I can interact with the grapple with, which is what you would... Oh, wait. What am I doing? I died. Okay, return to return. Whoa, where am I? Is this the first screen? Wait, who are these people? Charlene? My backpack? Okay, who are these people? My brother has gone too far. You have to destroy the blueprints? Oh, that's Damien. Okay, so I guess I have Damien's robot or something. All my diary entry. In the real world? Alright, these people want help. Oh, who are you? Satan. Okay, oh, so I'm actually in hell, I guess. I see, that's what they're talking about. Impressive. That's the wrong your. Okay, that's a little weird. So he's talking about upgrades and stuff, but like in reference to what? Like like an ability upgrades, and you know, it's not entirely clear, but I guess he's just sort of vague, but he's just vaguely telling me that if I send souls to hell, then I can earn some things. So this is sounding like a roguelite sort of deal where it's like talking about going down into the I don't know why it's down instead of like up, but like going back into the real world and then like killing things to or doing these different tasks or whatever for these people that are down here in hell. And then it kind of suggests that I'm going to end up back here again, like when I die, and then like I might get upgrades and stuff from the things that I did. So it suggests sort of a roguelite feeling of a progression that you're going to kind of be dying regularly and like having this progression element that you kind of interact with between lives, you know, which is interesting. It's not really what you would expect from something labeled a Metroidvania. But here we are, so I don't know if that suggests that we're gonna die frequently or what. But yeah, okay, so that boss I was fighting was really weird. That was definitely very weird. Didn't understand it. Looks like all these buildings are gone. And we kind of started back at the beginning there, so I have to just sort of walk for a long time to get back to where I was, I guess. I can start going other places here apparently though. But again, it's disorienting. Like I don't really know. Like, are there other places that I haven't seen already in like another direction? Like back close to where I was. Well, there was that boss that I didn't kill, so I have to like go back and kill him, I guess. Ziv's blueprints destroyed. Return to continue. So I completed a little quest for one of the hell people. It looks like I'm holding a gun. I guess that's my grapple thing. It looks like a gun, right? Yeah, sort of a little grappling gun type deal. So I destroyed the blueprints. I don't really understand why. I thought they might be something to do with the whatever whatever the big robot's name was. Oh, I can go up here. But yeah, it's very unexplained. Oh, Gigantomus. Oh no, she was there with Gigantomus. Alright, confusing elevator. This guy's here. It looks like I can go up. Whoa! Just kind of kissed him for a moment there. So he doesn't appear to be fazed by the fact that I just swooshed past him. I can't appear to go in there. Since I've interacted with a door like this before, I feel like I should be able to do this. And generally the kind of thing to do with this is if you're going to show another door like that, but you can't interact with it this time, then you, just have text that shows up that says it's locked or something like that, just to give some kind of feedback. You always want to give feedback to player actions that make sense within the context of the game rules. Whoa, we got a helicopter going here. Oh, there's Singularia. Or Singuliera. I need to talk to him. Talking about Gigantomus? Don't worry. Who are you, Jeb? Forever. Are you trying to steal the girl or something? Need someone to escort Miss Singuliera to Gigantomus. I can fly, but we need someone to get out on the ground floor with her. Try and sort this mess out. No one wants to go. So what about the boss that I just died to? Like I guess we're talking about like the non-linearity of the game. Actually, now that I think of it, that video did mention that you could fight the bosses in different orders and stuff. Why is he repeating himself? That's really awkward. I guess? No, yes, no. But, like, am I fighting Gigantomus? Because I'm not really well equipped for... Wow. What is that bar that just appeared there? Okay, we're talking. And the friggin' robot tried to shoot at him, I guess? Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, well, little flying robot is trying its best. What are you? Oh, that's Ziv. But wasn't he in hell? It's time. Oof. Oh, he's killing it? He's trying to. What the hell was that? A little cutscene. Wait, am I hurting it? There's no feedback for when you hit stuff, so it's not really obvious that's what's happening, but I'm seeing this happen here. Yeah, it looks like I'm hitting it. Yeah, this is very straightforward so far. What? Okay, you also don't get feedback for when you get hurt, so I don't know, maybe this is hurting me? I have to like look at the number. Okay, this punch is hurting me, but I don't have the ability to jump that I know of, so I can't do anything about it at the moment. Maybe if I had more upgrades from other parts of the game or something. Oh no, I'm down to 7. Come on, click. These are really... Okay, that one wasn't. Most of them are easy to dodge, but I'm not... I mean, you have to make sure that it's possible to dodge all of these. There might be situations where it's not, unless you have some other move that other kind of movement tech here. Avarigmus. Testing my patience. Who is Avarigmus or Avarigmus? I guess it's supposed to be like average. Averagemus? I'm coming out. Okay. So there actually is a little person? Okay. Oh no, I don't have like I can't jump or anything, so like he's just walking at me and I can't do anything about it. What? Wait, is there health down here? Is that his health? I don't know what this meter down here even is. Like, am I doing anything? Am I supposed to talk to him? I don't know what's happening. Oh, he did get messed up. I didn't take any damage, I don't think, so maybe he just couldn't do anything. The helicopter's back. Apparently I stopped Gigantimus and Averagemus. So I kind of I kind of like the idea of the obviously skyscraper-sized robot being actually like 5 feet tall without any explanation as to why that makes any sense. When I first read that, I didn't think of it as like there's a 5-foot person inside of it. I just thought it was just kind of a nonsensical thing. I kind of almost preferred it before I found out there was a little person inside it, if that makes any sense. It just seems so absurd. But that's okay. So yeah, that kind of felt like it's supposed to be the end boss or something, because that's what the game is named after and everything. That was what was originally presented. Yeah, and there's like the at Joffre's games, the church for some reason. I don't know if these are places I'm supposed to have visited already. The city was saved. Okay. Just like that, huh? Oh, what's this? Who is that person? I've seen him, right? Or have I not? Shippy Doos. Oh no. No. Uh... No, don't do it. Oof. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's it. Obviously, I didn't like play the whole game, quote unquote. From what I understand, there's like multiple bosses, and I'm not sure how many. So I like ran into one, and then I just kind of died instantly. Well, not instantly, but I died pretty quickly, and then I just kind of went to the end boss, I guess. Um, which I didn't know was the end boss. I was just kind of wandering around, just kind of ended up there. And then the end boss was like really easy. Like all I needed was the pipe basically, and just like one of the health upgrades to just sort of beat it. um, so my thought is like, for one thing, the sort of layout of everything is a little kind of crazy. There's no map or anything, and just the way I just sort of wandered into the end boss makes me think like you could use this sort of level design to sort of make it clear that this is like going towards the end. Like that direction is where the quote unquote end is, where the end boss. And then you could kind of like, if you're not ready to go there, you could kind of consciously avoid that and go like wander around other places, get upgrades and stuff. There could definitely be some improvements with the level design, I think, in general. Also, just just some indications that like that way is the end boss or something. Like just put someone in the game world to say like Gigantimus is that way maybe or something. I don't know. The other thing is, it seems like it would make sense for the end boss to like incorporate different upgrades or something like that, so that it actually makes sense to go after the end boss sort of after you do everything else, or at least like most of the other things. Um, Something like that. And now that I think about it, there's also from the video I watched, there's supposed to be some kind of power scaling with the bosses where they all get harder. Like after like each boss you kill makes the next bosses get harder in some way or another, which sounds kind of like a difficult idea to pull off. But yeah, so I wonder if like they actually, if the power scaling was also being applied to Gigantimus himself, which is kind of silly. Like he was the first boss I actually killed, as it turned out. So it, like if it was made easier to the point where it was like way too easy just because I went him first, that doesn't really make sense. So um, that's something I'd be curious about. Uh, but yeah, it's a little difficult to scale the difficulty of bosses, um, for a number of reasons. Sometimes you can pull it off with just how much damage they deal or something. But you get into problematic situations where just the numbers, like with certain numbers, some things just don't really work. Sometimes there's sort of a sweet spot where the numbers just sort of work for a particular boss, and then like if you just go trying to scale them arbitrarily, you can end up with kind of very suboptimal situations and stuff, which happens in some other games that kind of work, I guess. Like, um, you might encounter. I'm talking like in a different game, you might encounter a boss where you are over leveled or something, so like the boss is hitting you and it just does 0 damage or something. Stuff like that happens, but there's different things that can go wrong. Uh, so that's kind of a tricky thing, but apart from that, the rest of the game, I didn't encounter the rest of the game. I didn't like. Apparently, it's supposed to be a gun and everything. I didn't even get to the point where I had a gun to shoot and stuff. But I think I encountered like one type of enemy. I know there was two because there was that flying thing that like launched me, but it just died from the little bot I had before I could interact with it meaningfully. Um, yeah, the impression I get is it's trying to have some. It's kind of trying to be an action game. There's elements of exploration and stuff, but in terms of actual gameplay, where any of the challenges being expressed, it seems like it's trying to be an action game, but it not really showing the understanding of how to make action games, I guess, in general. So there's just different things here and there. Like I mentioned, the first thing I noticed was like the collision was maybe a little bit over, like outside of the bounds of what it should be. Which is one of those little things that can make a big difference in action games. Um, in this one, it didn't show as much of a problem with the very very limited number of interactions I had, but it's one of those things that can definitely cause problems where it's kind of like, you get hit and maybe you die or something, but it didn't feel like the thing actually made contact with you, and you never want situations like that. But apart from that, just various things. I feel like if you take all the action out of this game, there's not really any other gameplay other than just walking around and like maybe you pick up a key here, so you bring it to somewhere else, and that can make a game, but it's also not the most expressed thing here either. Like there's not that much of that going on right now. Um, so you could emphasize that more, but it definitely feels like this game has a sort of need for the action, especially where you have these bosses and everything, where they're all just pure action gameplay. Um, so I think you benefit a lot from just focusing on making action, like even in just like one single encounter. Like if you just take like one enemy or something and just like put, maybe make like a little a screen or something and just start putting this one enemy in there, and just working on making it so killing that one enemy has like a good feel to it, that kind of thing. There's definitely different things you can work out with the collisions and the speeds that different things move, the physics, and like your rate of attack, and like the reach of your melee weapon, and the enemy behavior. Does it attack? Does this AI have a moment where it tries to attack, and how does that work? And there's all this stuff that you can work with to make the action just kind of feel good. Like it doesn't have to be anything um, revolutionary by any means, but just something that feels good and tight and well enough made. And then I think starting from there, you sort of start to build a foundation of principles that you can work with, uh, which I think is probably what you ought to do, because there's a number of different things that I pointed out in terms of the communication and things being a little disorienting here and there. But aside from all those different details, I would say you probably would benefit most from just um, nailing the action down better, and all the things that come along with that. And it's hard to just like list off everything that goes into that in a video like this, but that's where I feel like things would benefit the most. Apart from that, there's the one boss that I just didn't know what he was doing, stuff like that. It's really important just in general to, aside from the whole action thing, um, just focus on the communication and like how um, intelligible everything is to the player. And so, that's one of the reasons why I make these videos, so you can see, like, as I'm playing this as someone who's never played it before, like what is actually making sense to me and what isn't. Because that's like one of the most important things, right? It's just like people, as they play, everything needs to make sense to them, and it's hard to get all that as a creator, of course, as everyone knows. But hopefully you can see more of those things where it's like stuff that doesn't quite make sense to me. And sometimes it's the kind of thing where after I think about it for a moment, I can kind of see that maybe that's probably what you meant, but it should never really be a maybe, right? It should always be obvious, really, to the player, um, as much as possible, anyway. So, um, just in general, there's a number of those things that were just sort of confusing that could probably be worked out. But yeah, I kind of wish I played a little bit more of it. It was pretty slow paced. Maybe you could think about pacing as well. Maybe just bump up the move speed or something. Things like that. Um, but yeah, because I kind of wanted to see the other items and stuff. But it's sort of like, for one thing, I've already seen the end screen. I don't know if this game even has save data or not. But this video is dragging on, so I can't really go and do all the other things with the shooting and all the other, I'm sure, nice sorts of items that you've created. But I would have liked to. But hopefully this was useful for you. Let me know if you have any questions or anything, and if you want any more input on action design and stuff like that. That's something I've spent a lot of time thinking about over the years. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.